Hey guys, it's Merce. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees, where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. First off, I just want to give a huge heartfelt thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I just reached 1,000 subscribers last week and it just feels really good. It's definitely an important milestone. It's not something that I was trying to achieve really. This channel is definitely for me just to have fun. I love editing, I love reading books and reviewing them and talking about them, and it's allowing me to kind of do other things like reading a Victorian tale with some really creepy audio for you guys, exploring cemeteries and doing book tags and book hauls and just stuff like that. I mean, it's just all really fun to do. So that's why this channel is here, that's why it exists, and it'll keep existing as long as it's just fun and, you know, just something that I can keep challenging myself with and learning from. It keeps propelling me to do more and to get better at my reviews and to, you know, just bring more interesting things that are interesting for me to make and also interesting for you guys. So thank you so much. I did want to do something very special for my 1,000 subscribers, but it kind of snuck up on me. I wasn't paying attention and it snuck up on me. I'm gonna try and aim for something at 1,500. I think that'll be a good number. I can get prepared for that. So if you guys have any ideas, throw them my way. I have no idea what I will do at this moment, so. Today I have a book review for Darcy Coates, Voices in the Snow, and also one of her short stories that was in the Apocalyptic Fear 6 anthology. I thought it would be kind of cool and fun to kind of review these two together since they both do share a thread of sci-fi within them. So let's go ahead and start talking about Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates. This book says that it's a Black Winter novel, so I'm assuming that this is going to be a series. And it is very different than The Haunting of Ashburn House and Craven Manor. So let me set this up for you. A young woman named Claire is driving through really bad, horrible weather to her aunt's house. Her car is stocked with supplies, and she's also talking to her sister Beth on the phone as sort of a companion on her journey to their aunt's house. There's something that's happened, something really bad to the world. And Claire is trying to race against the clock to get to her family. While she's on her way, she's talking to Beth on speakerphone, but she's losing connection. She's going in and out, and eventually all connection is severed. But Claire is undaunted. The snow does not bother her. She changed her tires to snow tires before she left, and she feels really confident that she can just get to her aunt's house with no problem. Until she finds herself in a bed in a very opulent and antiquated room with very fancy wallpaper and a fireplace that's roaring heat out of it. And she's not alone. There's someone in that room with her. She can't move and she's in a lot of pain. And she can't remember how she got there, why she's there, who this person is, and she is not comfortable with the situation at all. The man who's there is just staring out of the window, silently watching the snowfall. And now she has to figure out what's happened. I got this book in a creepy crate for February, March. And it was such a great box. I loved everything that I got in there. And I was so excited that I got this Voices in the Snow book. I had seen it around, but the cover, you know, really wasn't calling out to me too much because it has this like baby doll face here covered in snow. So I didn't really like it. I really love her other covers where it's just like some kind of house, you know, there's a lot of texture to it and it's like blues and greens and stuff like that if you're familiar with them. So this was like a little out of the, I guess like my experience of Darcy Coates books. So I kind of just held back. A few people had told me, they were like, oh, you know, it's not supernatural. And I was like, okay, you know, so that was kind of making me hold back. And I'm glad I held back because I really just devoured this book in like one sitting. It was just a big surprise. It was very different than the other books, very different from Ashburn, very different from Craven Manor. I mean, the only things that they really have in common is that there's a mansion, and it's a decrepit mansion, but the story of this is like bigger in scope. And it makes sense that this would be a series if it's going to be. So as you know, I love Darcy Coates. She is the creepy, cozy comfort food that I just really love and adore. I would definitely say that this book is probably the scariest Darcy Coates book that I have read. And it has these really chilling moments that in my mind's eye were really effective to me. She's really clever at revealing a story in a way that feels intriguing. And in this case, it's still true. It's just very Darcy Coates in that way, where it's not necessarily misdirection. She's not doing anything that's like super sneaky. She's just kind of like slowly easing it out. And she knows how long to hold on to it. And then I think that's why I get so compelled and excited, because it's just so fun to follow those breadcrumbs. And I've mentioned that, you know, Darcy Coates is kind of like this wholesome creepy. She does balance that though with her, you know, more unsettling characters. They can be very gross and creepy and disgusting and delightful. I like that so much. In each of the books, the entities or whatever they were unusual and different and intriguing, and they're not one-dimensional. So that's another thing about Coates I think that's cool, is that she cares about her characters, but she also cares about her monsters and her entities and her beasts and stuff too. So there's not just like it's not just black and white. Like I said, this story is bigger in scope. There is something that's happening on a global level, and our characters, Claire and Doran, who is another character, the other main character of the story, who are just existing in this place. They have to find a way to build trust together, and to figure out who the other one is and you know what they're doing there. And while they're just kind of like in this tiny microcosm of a situation that seems like it could be really harrowing, waking up in a place where you don't know where you are with some strange person who's put you in a bed, you know, a lot of things are going through your mind. So they're having this, you know, their own like tension and their own relationship and figuring things out. And then outside of that, there's a story that's going on inside the house, and there's a story that's going on outside of the house in the world. So it was really there were so many times that the situations they were in were so bleak, it didn't seem like there was any way out. And then like when I thought I kind of understood what the problem was, or the issue, or the challenge, something else popped up, which was really surprising. It definitely has these threads of a lot of different things coming together. I don't want to tell you what they are because I don't want to spoil it, but I will tell you it's not supernatural, but that's not a spoiler because everyone told me like, oh, it's not supernatural, because they know that I love the supernatural. You know, that just kind of intrigued me more as I was reading it. I was like, well, if it's not supernatural, what is happening here? You know, and it just almost made it even more just exciting to read. I really enjoyed this. I literally read it in one sitting. I think I started at like 6 p.m. and I ended like 1 a.m. or something. I had to know how it was going to resolve itself. So I gave Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates 96 points out of 114, which is a 4.5-star read. I really like this. I'm so happy that it just landed in my lap. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I only have read 3 Darcy Coates books before, or 2 other ones before. But I'd say like comparing this one to those 2, this one feels more sophisticated, a little bit more. I don't know, it just seems more, it has more complexity and depth, I think. Yes, this was great. I enjoyed it a lot. So the short story that I read was in this book called Short Stories, Apocalyptic Fears 6, and the story is called Station 331. I wanted to check this story out because it's for a apocalyptic fiction anthology, so I was curious to see what that would be like. So Station 331 is about 3 women who are exterminators on a murky, dusky orange moon, no idea where, but they are exterminators and they have to go out on routine checks every day looking for, you know, life forms that are trying to eat the base or, you know, cause some ruckus or something. And that's basically what they do all day long. They just do the exterminations and then they live, sleep, and work in this little tiny moon base together. One of the women ended up missing when she's out doing one of her routine exterminations. And when the rest of the team have already accepted that, you know, she's probably dead and gone because this is sort of the nature of the job, they start following, you know, the protocol of what happens when you have a coworker disappear or die. You know, you need to replace that coworker. And as they're doing these protocols, guess who shows up at the base? So something is odd. So it was a cool read. It's definitely following a very specific sci-fi trope that you've seen before and you will probably see again and again and again. It's not a bad trope, it's just, you know, it's familiar. But I still had a lot of fun reading it. I thought it was cool. It is predictable, but you know, it's still fun. I don't really read a lot of sci-fi though, because I will admit that I'm a person who loves to see sci-fi. So instead of reading about maybe mathematically what a black hole could be, for me seeing it is just more enjoyable, I guess. But you know, describe a ghost to me like all day long, I guess I'll read it forever. Short stories are, you know, they're really tricky to kind of rate, but I did enjoy it and I had fun with it, so it was 3.5 stars. So I hope that you enjoyed that review of Darcy Coates' Voices in the Snow and also her short story in the anthology Apocalyptic Fears 6. If you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. And thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, spending your free time listening to me babble on about Darcy Coates. I really appreciate it. I hope everything is going well for you. Stay strong, stay positive, and I will talk to you next time.